Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're seriously focused on scaling your professional impact, you've got to understand exactly how top-tier organizations actually evaluate talent. Today, we're decoding the UK Civil Service Success Profiles framework, and specifically, we're zeroing in on one of the toughest tightropes we walk as professionals, delivering outstanding quality service while balancing the very real and often totally opposing constraints of customer needs and strict budgets. Let's get right into it.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with a quick look at what success profiles actually are and define quality service. Then, we'll take a journey right up the career ladder, starting with the frontline focus, expanding into middle management scope, and finally hitting senior strategic leadership.
So, Section 1. What are success profiles? The foundation of civil service hiring. Before we dive into the specific skills, let's establish what this foundational framework actually is and why understanding it is absolutely critical to your career.
The Success Profile framework itself is actually made up of 5 distinct elements. The civil service introduced this to move the recruitment away from those rigid, purely competency-based assessments of the past, by using a much more flexible framework, one that evaluates experience, strengths, ability, technical skills, and behaviors. The overarching goal is to find the right person for the job, drive up performance, and vastly improve workplace inclusivity.
It's a real game changer.
Okay, let's slice into one specific piece of that pie: behaviors. In this framework, behaviors are the actual, measurable actions you take that result in effective job performance. They can be observed, and, importantly, they're highly specific to your grade level. Now, don't worry, you aren't expected to be a superhero demonstrating every single behavior on day one, but the ones you are assessed on, they will absolutely dictate your success.
That brings us to Section 2, defining a quality service and delivering excellence across all levels. Out of the 9 behaviors outlined in the whole framework, we're narrowing our focus directly onto one that is universally critical.
The framework officially defines managing a quality service as the ability to deliver service objectives with professional excellence, expertise, and efficiency, all while taking account of diverse customer needs. Honestly, consider this your anchor point. Whether you're answering phone queries on day one or running a massive government department, professional excellence and adapting to diverse needs remain completely non-negotiable.
Now, within that definition, 2 key pillars constantly interact, and let's be real, sometimes they collide: customer needs and taxpayer budgets. As we climb the career ladder today, pay really close attention to this dynamic. Your approach to navigating what the customer expects versus ensuring the taxpayer actually gets value for their money, that's going to drastically shift at every single rung of the ladder.
Let's begin our ascent with Section 3, Frontline Focus. Here, we're looking at levels 1 and 2, which cover those essential entry-level and early management roles.
At level 1, managing a service is highly personal and immediate. You've got to have a clear understanding of your customer's baseline expectations. Success here looks like managing your own time ruthlessly to deliver a high-quality service. You aren't redesigning the whole system. Your role is to put out fires by identifying issues, reporting them quickly, and pointing customers toward the right support. It is all about individual execution and crystal clear communication.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the financial responsibility actively evolves as you step up to level 2. At level 1, you give taxpayers a good return, primarily by just managing your own time well, right? Not wasting resources. But at level 2, the game changes. You're expected to deliver a service which actively balances quality against cost effectiveness. You're no longer just an efficient worker, you're the one holding the scales.
At level 2, the expectations really start to broaden out. You're working directly with customers to understand their needs, but you must now create clear plans and set priorities that satisfy both the customer and the business. And let's be honest, sometimes that means clearly but politely explaining what can actually be done within the budget. Instead of just reporting one-off issues, you're identifying common roadblocks and actively pitching solutions.
Moving right along to Section 4, Expanding Scope. Covering levels 3 and 4, we step up into middle management, where your responsibility expands far beyond personal tasks and branches out into wider systems.
So at level 3, your focus zooms way out. You're transitioning from everyday interactions to developing, maintaining, and reviewing the actual systems themselves. You're working with stakeholders to set priorities and tight timescales. The core expectation? To successfully deliver high-quality outcomes that meet needs and give solid value for money. You're also building those crucial feedback loops, actively seeking out customer critiques to drive continuous improvement. By the time you reach level 4, the scope broadens significantly.
It's no longer just about understanding basic needs, you really must grasp the sheer complexity and diversity of customer expectations. You're not just making plans, you're ensuring the full integration of new technologies and digital accessibility. You are proactively managing risks, navigating strict legal regulations, and importantly, looking outward. You're comparing your business area directly to industry best practices.
This leap in financial strategy is massive. Think about it. A Level 3 leader ensures value for money within the boundaries of the systems they currently manage. But a Level 4 leader? They must proactively evaluate costings across entirely new delivery methods. It's literally the difference between running an efficient coal train on existing tracks and deciding if you should be ripping those tracks up to build a high-speed rail line to be more cost-effective tomorrow.
Let's move to our final tier to see how this all builds into ultimate strategic leadership. Section 5 covers levels 5 and 6, representing the highest echelons of the civil service: deputy directors, directors, and director generals.
At level 5, the expectations are frankly formidable. You're required to clarify and articulate the diverse requirements of massive customer bases and delivery partners. At this deputy director level, you're taking incredibly complex, high-level aims and breaking them down into clear, manageable realities. You're collaborating to manage and deliver agreed outcomes, spotting risks on the horizon, and neutralizing them before they ever disrupt service delivery.
This right here is the core of Level 5 financial responsibility. You aren't just saving pennies anymore. You're ensuring the service is a genuinely good investment of taxpayers' money at a massive scale. And you achieve this not by guessing or just going with your gut, but by using deep, rigorous customer insight to drive efficiency. Impartial budget responsibility at this level requires serious, data-driven analytical capability.
Finally, we reach the summit, Level 6. Here, directors and director generals are negotiating strategic deliverables, not just within their department, but across the entire government delivery chain. You're establishing service standards at a national level and championing value for money at the absolute highest scale. Crucially, you must ensure that every single stakeholder in that massive chain fully understands the required outcomes and respects the severe impact that poor service can have on the end customer.
This brilliantly illustrates the massive evolution of a single workplace behavior. I mean, we started at level 1, where managing a quality service simply meant organizing your own personal time and inbox. By level 6, you're working across the entire government to guarantee professional excellence on a national scale. The core values of quality and efficiency, they never changed, but the scope of your impact expanded exponentially. So we've unpacked exactly how the civil service defines and scales the concept of quality service. Now, I want to leave you with this to impartially reflect on. Based on this framework, which level are you currently delivering at in your own role? And more importantly, what specific behaviors from the next level up do you need to start adopting tomorrow to scale your impact? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning and keep growing.